In 1976, Omaha Public Schools officially desegregated. My mother was born in 1967. So, from ages 1 to 9, my mother lived in a segregated system, or rather a system that was segregated by race. My mother. And of course, desegregation, great, whoopee. But instead of things being segregated by race, now things are pretty much segregated by districts and class. And it's really interesting how things in life tend to be rebranded. Like, there's nothing new under the sun. So everything of today is just some variation of what's been before. Totally cool for, equality, desegregation, awesome. But really think about it. That 5, 10, 20 block radius that you're living in, that's your community. You're gonna grow in your community. You're gonna likely be like most of the people within that community. Unless you do something about it. That's why it's so important to get up and away from your environment, especially if you're from an environment that tends to lead to turmoil. I'm just saying, yeah. Regardless, but it's just really interesting. It's super important. Even scripture talks about, a prophet has no honor in his own country, but, that's a whole other conversation. But just to think, segregation just a generation ago, not that long ago, where people like me weren't in certain rooms, weren't looked at in a particular way. And I think that's why I have such a cross to carry when I'm thinking, okay, not to be the dude to bring race up and everything, but like as a black dude, as a straight black dude, whatever, I ain't trying to go there, but as a black dude especially, it's like I have so much responsibility to be something great. And it's not like just because I'm black. No. Like, I want to be great in general. But I guess right now in the moment, I'm realizing how often I think about being a black dude. Like, in these environments that I've been in, I've always been like the black guy. You gotta be careful. You gotta be intentional. And you've gotta be aware. Doing a whole lot of just yapping. But way to go, equality. Dang, that sound. Now it's like, oh. I know it's gonna be a million people that's like, well, you think you got it bad, blah, 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 got it bad. Oh, you think it's tough for you, buddy, huh? Oh, well, blah, 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 blah. One-uppers, y'all get on my nerves, I'm gonna say that. It's always somebody that's like, well, I hear what you're saying, but think about this over there. I'm like, man, we're not talking about that right now. That's not what we're talking. Leave it alone. Let me work out. Happy first fruit.
Black people are now arguing for segregation. They want black-only graduations. They want black-only dorms. They want black-only spaces. This is just Jim Crow. Why on earth did we get rid of Jim Crow if only to have Black Americans fighting for the exact same again? What is it that Black America is trying to achieve with such distaste and hatred toward white Americans? I mean, I see it every single day in my life. I mean, you should see the comments. Married to a white man, right? I have biracial children. That should be considered the dream. That should mean, oh my God, we actually got ahead as a society when Black people get married. Nope. Look at the comments anytime a Black person marries a white person and see who it's coming from. It's coming from Black people. Oh, married to the white man. Oh, selling out your soul. So you're arguing actually for marriage segregation. You're basically saying that the Supreme Court case, Virginia versus Love, should have never happened. That it should still be illegal for Blacks and whites to marry. They don't think that way because they're demented.
When I'm also looking on this issue and matters concerning the so-called segregation that we are hearing, I come up with a lot of things, and I have a different mind over this, because it is not like the segregation, this one that used to oppress people, or this one that used to oppress Black people, because this one now makes it gets to a point when other people begin to think or begin to say that white people or Black people are bad people. Black people are people who just, they don't want peace and all that. No, Black people don't want peace. Black people are this kind of people who does not interfere with the issues. They don't interfere with the business of other people. They mind their own business. It is only until you trigger them. It is when now they begin interfering and messing up with your business. But when you're just quiet, you don't even interfere with them. They do their own business. They do their own things. Those are Black people. But you see now, the government coming and saying now we want to bring back segregation, we want to legalize segregation and all things of that. This government and other people who are white people who are championing or who are pushing the segregation and everything, they are up to frustrating Black people. They are up to actually maybe irritating Black people. But Black people don't take it that way. Black people see this as an opportunity. Okay, they don't take it as segregation. They see it as an opportunity. You see, when you get to a point when you hear other people saying, oh, Black people, they want segregation. Also, be these people, I want this. Or you see, it is not that they are actually pushing for maybe hatred and all that. No, these people see it as an opportunity. That's why I came down, I sat down, I started noting down and trying to do research on what can be the reason. And I realized it's not about all that hatred. It's about the safe spaces. It's about the cultural anatomy. It's about the systematic mistrust. Okay, it's about the reclaiming power. Okay, so it's not important not to confuse the actions with the historical oppressive kind of segregation that was forced on Black people that looks like a self segregation to maybe some self segregation. And you know, to some is often actually about liberation and healing. It's not about that, the self-segregation that maybe you see people being oppressed and all that. To them, it's about what we call the liberation and healing. Because Black people have gone through a lot of things and they're looking forward to heal themselves. They're looking forward for this kind of healing. Okay? So watch this video and then I shall come back at the end of it to give and to maybe to talk about that, the safe spaces and the cultural anatomy, the systematic mistrust and the reclaiming power. I'll break it down after the end of these videos. Take a look.
Good morning, family. This is the elder out of New Orleans coming to you with another informative video. All praises to our Creator and our ancestors. So family, this video gonna be about Donald Trump. Got a lot of people making videos about the segregation. You wanna, y'all know where I'm coming from. You wanna do this, that, make it all white and all this. Who cares? I don't care. The only people that's ripening is the Roland Martins in the Democratic Party. That's right. They're the only one worried about what Donald Trump gonna do. We gonna be back in the bus and picking cotton and all that nonsense. I don't think that gonna happen. at all. That's right. Matter of fact, we'd be better off doing for self, loving self. That's right. Let them, if they want to have everything of their own and don't want us to participate, I'm not worried about participating with them. Why should I want to participate with somebody that don't care nothing about me or my people and really never cared? That's right. All kind of foolishness going on in black people worried. Not all, but it was a time of black people before segregation or integration. We was doing all right. They had thousands and thousands of mom and pops black stoves. We kept all the money in the neighborhood. We had black barbers. We had black women beauticians. We did everything for self. We cared about self. Now we want to integrate with somebody that don't care nothing about you. And they're showing it right now. That Donald Trump making all these executive orders, the Department of Education, he trying to rip that. Educate your own children. Nobody want to hear about no George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and Robert E. Lee. That's right. Teach your children about Malcolm X and people like that, Dr. Claude Anderson, and teach about a lot of our other educators. That's right. Mary B. Wells, Francis Crescent Wells, and teach about them people, Marcus Garvey, Frederick Douglass, who was great educators. It's time for black people to start doing for self. It's time for black people to come together in unity against this evil and unrighteous force that has no love, that has no compassion, that has no empathy for the black man, for the black woman, or the black child. That's right. So I don't care what they do. I ain't never lived around them no way. That's right, family. So start doing for self. Because Donald Trump gonna have his day. The Republican Party gonna have their day. The Democratic Party gonna have their day. Because they're all a part of the evil system called Babylon. And Babylon is falling because it has become the habitation of devils and every evil spirit. Peace and love. Put up the likes and shares. Stay tuned for the next video live stream. And I'm out.
Trump, sweetheart, we are not our ancestors. We do not care. Do what you got to do when it comes to this segregation thing, because we do not care. So you mean to tell me, as far as restaurants, you think we're going to be upset because we can't have your unseasoned chicken, your tasteless casseroles, your concoctions with mayonnaise and cheese, and your potato salad with raisins? You think we really going to be upset? You think we're going to be upset the fact that we cannot go to the bathroom in y'all nasty ass bathrooms where y'all don't wash y'all hands? Do you think we're care? Again, we are not our ancestors. See, that's the thing. You're going to fuck around and you're going to cause segregation, and then you're going to sit around and watch us flourish. We are not our ancestors. And I'm not sitting here saying that the ancestors didn't do their big one, because they did. But we do not care. See, and then you're going to sit around and see black girl, black man magic, and then you're going to be in the uproar because what you thought you was going to cause was a civil war. But what you don't understand is them cliff folks ain't going to stand up for that either, because they don't want to eat their casseroles either. They want to eat our soul food. All right, Trump? Quit playing with us.
When segregation happens, it's not going to affect black people the most. It's going to affect white people, because you're no longer going to be able to steal what we do and make it your own and then say, oh my God, I'm so creative. You're not going to be able to get Viking braids and say, what are you mad about? And you're not going to be able to talk in AAVE and trigger us, because we're going to be on this side and you bitches better stay on your side, because I cannot wait to scream, isn't this an all black affair? What are you doing in here?
Oh, y'all, I almost forgot. I had to talk about that segregation thing, y'all. Let me let you know something, baby. For where I'm from Central Georgia. Small time Macon County, baby. They start that segregation, baby. We gonna be on your ass like Marbury on a hot summer afternoon on a fucking trailer, bitch. We gonna be on your ass, bitch. I'm already tired of your motherfucking ass anyway. Tired of going to rest with your ass, goddamn kid, rolling around on damn fucking floor like some damn laboratory dogs and shit. Tired of the goddamn shit. Everywhere you go, damn, he looking. Tired of weird ass smiles and shit, bitch. Should've damn went on a hard move of smile. I'm tired of it. So you know what? Let the segregation be goddamn again. I don't give a damn no more. I don't care. We gonna have shit. We get buried in separate goddamn burial site. Hell, the only time we get buried together is we in the fucking army. Them damn military. This shit been goddamn revealed. We just ain't been looking. I'm so tired of it. And them motherfucker with these transgender, goddamn motherfucker, goddamn, what you gonna do to them? Them motherfuckers trying to be Hitler so bad, y'all. It's like me was trying to be goddamn Beyonce when I was little. Shit. Oh my God, and playing one like Tyler Perry actors. DL act. I was playing that all my life, y'all. But for real, baby, I want the cigarette, and baby, let me see a colors only fucking water machine. Oh, bitch, y'all, that high-ass water. Bitch, we can pay $500-$600 damn country for some damn high-ass city water. City goddamn water going through shitty pipes. This turtle-ass sewage. What the hell? Y'all ought to shame yourself. Y'all better shame yourself. You ought to shame. Like, we got to understand, right? All this shit is happening. But country people, we gonna suffer bad. We gonna suffer. Like, this is crazy. A colors only in the backwood of Georgia. Bitch, what that is, Deer Park? We must got the Sunny in Deer Park. Cause baby, that's on the shit. Tap water ain't that damn good. You gotta put that bitch in a pot, boil that bitch, and put it in damn freezer. I'm just saying, honey. That shit don't make no sense. You talking about damn there. Now right now I live up here in I don't tell people I live in somewhere like in Georgia Park up north somewhere. Not by Atlanta, but on the outskirts. But yeah. But baby, my hometown, baby, we don't play that. So all that, Central Georgia, all that black, your ass finna get motherfucking roasted, bitch. You damn shrimp. You gonna get roasted, honey. Hibachi, hey, yo, hibachi. Okay? Cause that's what you gonna get. So bring your ass on, yeah, but you in my part of the woods. What brought you here, boy? I'm over-exaggerated. And if you're fine, baby, you're mine. They already did like that when we back in our day. Used to make your gay man. But we ain't gonna talk about that. But yeah, I don't care. I don't care. This is just crazy. But baby, the only thing we really wanted is equality. We didn't give a fuck about segregation. We don't do y'all own shit. We live our own best life. Follow me. Follow me. We doing our own thing, baby. From the food to the soul, to the aura, to the hair, to everything is different. That's why we are the most hated. Duh, we are different. Yes, baby. Yes, we are y'all emos to your mean girls, bitch. We are the different ones. Yes, we are that. I mean, I love being black. And this gonna really show how we really win. I don't even really want to talk about politics no more, baby. It let this bitch burn. Let it burn, let it burn, let it burn. Oh. Yes, go. Sound like Christmas already again. Cause baby, I already snowed damn 3 times in Georgia. I don't know what type of shit. But we ain't gonna talk about that though. Yeah. And shout out to Jasmine Crockett, baby. I love you. Keep doing you. I love you, girl. I love you. Yes, baby. We're gonna keep on pushing though. Peace out.
Good morning. So it seems like a lot of white people are confused about the black community's seemingly collective response that segregation would not be the worst thing that happened to us. And I can't speak for all the blacks. We are not a monolith, but I think I speak for a lot of us when I say I'm a 52-year-old black woman. I have traveled much of this country, and and I've done a little international travel as well. And I can say for myself and the black people that I'm in community with, I have never, I'm sorry, my allergies, I have never felt safe in white spaces. I have a handful of white friends who understand, who I feel like are allies and co-conspirators with me, that I feel like are decent people, but those are one-off relationships that I cultivated over time, and those are people that understand that my blackness is paramount in my life, because I can't get away from it. It's who I am, it's how I identify, and they respect what I do and who I am. Handful. Collectively, I've never felt safe in white spaces. I've never felt comfortable in white spaces. I never desire to be around large groups of white people because you people are dangerous. You people are dangerous to black people. White women crying gets black men and black women killed every day somewhere in this country. You're manipulative as a group. You're bitter as a group. You're mediocre as a group. And your mediocrity and your insecurities equal sabotage and danger for black people. Collectively, we don't trust you. So the opportunity to have some of what was going on in the country post-Civil War during the Reconstruction era, places that are black communities that we've cultivated, that we feel comfortable in, that we feel safe in, that we don't get microaggressions, that we don't have to be in fear for our lives every time we're around you. The opportunity to have that kind of thriving community that's peaceful and safe for us is attractive. It's attractive because there is absolutely nothing safe about being in community with white people. I think we can all agree that the experiment that was integration failed because it was just another attempt to control and oppress the black people around you so that we could not thrive. And I'm saying, like, I'm certain all white people aren't bad, but collectively, white people have been dangerous for black people, period. And the opportunity to be in safe black space where we can say, no, you can't come in here with your questions, with your co-opting, with your desire to control and take over and appropriate our culture. No, you can't come. That's very attractive to black people. And I'm really not sure why you're so confused.
They're bringing back segregation because they know a world without black and brown people is coming, and it terrifies them. Trump just rolled back protections that ban segregated facilities for federal contractors, and the internet's acting shocked. But me, I'm not surprised, clearly. This is what desperate power looks like. This isn't about restoring order or merit-based hires. This is a tantrum from an almost 80-year-old man. White supremacy is in its flop era, and it's grasping at any old trick it can find. Segregation? Really? I feel like that's how we know they're scared. Because let's be real, black folks, we are unbothered. You can't shake people that have been surviving state-sanctioned violence since the dawn of time. We've had underfunded schools, medical negligence, and cultural erasure since day one. We don't panic when the system turns on us. We expect it. We don't fold. We multiply. We turn every block into a blueprint, every struggle into a strategy, and every threat into a legacy. As I said in my pinned video, A world without Black and brown people is coming, not because we're disappearing, because we're divesting from their politics, from their corporations, their watered down narratives, their respectability games. We want no parts. We've seen what happens when we show up and we make America run, but this time we're choosing to build our own instead. And that's what scares them, not the loss of power, but the loss of relevance. Because without our culture, our labor, our innovation, our souls, what is America really? Let them scramble. Let them cling to segregation like it's going to save them. We've already moved on. And when that world without us fully arrives, they're going to finally understand what unbothered really looks like.
We need to understand a lot of things here. We need to understand, we need to have a good, we need to have actually a well-known information here. According to me, I think and I know that it's not that black people are championing or that black people are pushing for segregation. Because when we say that black people are pushing for segregation, we need to understand there is this so-called segregation that used to look like I think a way of oppression and all that, okay? And that was the real segregation that we're talking about, okay? When people were being separated, there was no inclusivity, there was no diversity. These people were being pushed, like they were being pushed to a certain corner themselves so they can sit there and be there themselves, okay? Nobody is concerned about them. Nobody's checking on them. Nobody cares about if they are well or they're not well. That was now the real segregation. It was a form of oppression, and people used to suffer on that segregation. But you see, right now, the government of Donald Trump trying to legalize segregation and bringing back segregation. You see, when black people sometimes they get to a point when they say they don't care, okay, because you've had many of them saying we don't care, okay, we don't care, we don't. If you do whatever you want. If you want to bring back segregation or something like that, you do whatever you want. We care less, okay? It is black people, they don't take it as segregation. They see it as an instrument or rather as a weapon to make their lives better, okay? Because you see, black people's value in a white man's land have never been recognized. Black people's strength and potentials and I think strategies in a white man's land has not been recognized, and therefore a black man wants to make himself better sometime, wants to make himself better, and so that even the society can look at them as a better people sometime. And that is why this so-called segregation and all these things you're seeing black people championing is not segregation. You see, black people have gone through a lot of things, and therefore I had to note down some things here. I don't know what you have to say about this. I don't know what is your comments, but these are my comments. You know, there is this called the so-called safe places. The safe places, you see, some black communities and groups are created specifically for black people to share experiences, heal, and build communities without the burden of the racism or having to explain themselves. These spaces are about healing and empowerment and exclusion, because black people have always wanted to be excluded, but white people have always like pushed them far. So these people wants to everybody who is black to be excluded. They need an exclusion. These safe places are like healing places because they've gone through a lot of things. When they are going to a place where it's called a black people's community only, where only black people can be able to be found, it means these black people will listen to themselves. They can listen to each other. Everybody will be included in these conversations, in these movements. So these things of excluding other people, they will not it will not be part of them. Okay. Everyone want to be included. Every black people want to be included. So when they come together, they will include everybody, because these so-called exclusions and maybe what else? The separation that have been separated will not be part of them. So these safe places, it's like a healing places. When they're going to a certain place to live like them at a certain place, they're taking these places as a healing places and as a place where they can empower themselves because of a lot of things that they have maybe gone through. Number two, I noted down a cultural anatomy. You know, when you talk about cultural anatomy, some advocates push for more control over black institutions, business, and schools to better serve their communities. This is about ownership and agency, not separation from others out of hate or maybe superiority. They're not separating themselves so they can be able to be superior. They're not separating themselves because they hate other people. No, it is because they also want to value themselves. They also want their children to have a better life, to go to a better schools. They also want to better themselves, to make themselves better. Okay, like this town in Ohio, it's called what was this name? I've forgotten the name. Okay, where only black people are found. This town was very great. It was a developed town where only black people are found, to an extent now white people wanted to come and now begin fighting these people in their own town. Okay, because they are seeing how developed this country is, how peaceful this town is, and all that. Okay, so they're trying to bring that. They're trying to make themselves better. They're trying to make their children's experience better, because for quite some time, these children have not been able to experience the better life they are supposed to experience as other white children. Point number 3, I noted down systemic mistrust. On systemic mistrust, this is what I realized. Because of long histories of mistreatment in white dominant systems, maybe talk about education, talk about healthcare, talk about policing. You see, some black people seek alternatives that center their needs and values. Okay, they seek alternatives that center their needs and values. Black people have needs, black people have values. Okay, now this alternative, it is not segregation. It's not segregation as it is. Okay, they are putting it as segregation because that is what white people say. That is what white people want to hear. We are segregating them. That is what the government wants to say. We are segregating them so that these people can be able to feel bad. And they are accepting it, not as segregation, because black people are not, they are not after hating or maybe spreading hatred. They are after their own lives. So they are trying to find the alternative of maybe finding the alternative that will center their needs and their values. And now that this has come in form of segregation, it looks a better alternative. So they have to go for it because they want their needs to be, their needs to be understood, their needs to be known. And you know, they say when you want anything to be done better or to be done well, you do it yourself. So black people, they've decided they're going to do it themselves. They're not going to run for anybody to help them. They're not going to run for a white man to help them, okay, do their things or to help them do 1, 2, 3 things. They're going to do it themselves, by themselves, for themselves. So it can only happen by them coming together, having a certain place where they can talk about their issues, they can talk about their values, they can talk about their needs, what they want, and all that. Okay, so it's not like they are supporting segregation, but they're looking for alternatives that can help them actually air out their values and their needs. Number 4, I noted down another thing. This is reclaiming power. In some cases, it's a form of resistance. Choosing to gather or organize separately can be a way of challenge dominant systems and assert power over their own narratives. You see, black people also, they have their own narratives. They have their way of viewing things. They have their own perspective over things, but their view is not actually recognized. Their perspective is not recognized. Why? Because people at some point and for a long time, they've known black people as people who cannot say anything, who cannot do anything, who cannot come up with anything, who cannot make, like, they can't bring an idea because they are black. Black have always been limited. Black as a color and black as people, they've always been limited. They've always have a limited extension. They can't go to an extent or another, because you find out, even when they find out a black person has been able to do something that is great, to invent something that is big, to come up with something that is wonderful, they tend to block it or to cover it so that people may not know, or this person cannot come to the light and people understand it was actually a black person who was able to do 1, who was able to do 2, who was able to do 3. Why? Because they don't want these people to be known. Okay, so they're trying to actually put put them down. So black people are looking for this power, that this power can be able actually to assert power over their own narrative. What do they think? What are their perspective? What are their view towards things? What, like the narratives they have, can it be listened to? Can power be seen, or power be actually experienced through their narratives? That is what they're trying to do. It can only happen when they are together. They speak one language. They come, and I told you every day, this is some kind of unity. It's like a certain kind of unity. When black people come together and they settle together, they think together, they reason together, it's like a unity that will give them power. That will give them strength. Okay, so it's important not to confuse, these actions with historical oppressive kind of segregation that was forced on black people. Okay, because what looks like the self segregation is to some that like self segregation to some is often actually about maybe liberation and healing. So this is like a liberation and healing, something like that. We want to turn around. We want actually to make ourselves better again. We want to make ourselves better people again. We want to be better again. That is what black people are up to. That is what black people are trying to do. So it is not like it is segregation form of it. It is not like it is just segregation as it looks, but it is a form of healing, a form of liberation, a form of them known, a form of their needs being known, a form of inclusivity and all that. Okay, so that is what black people want, and that is what black people are up to. Let me know what you have said in the comment section about this issue of segregation and all that. I'll do my best to make sure I read all your comments, and I'll learn a lot of things from your comments. Also, if you have another idea that another look, another view of this, let me know. Let me see it. Let me understand. Let me study about it, because it's about studying and understanding a lot of things. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being here, my black brothers from Caribbean, from diaspora, and from Africa in particular. This is African Streamline, and I am Atamba Haiti. Welcome again.